Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the chapter on bar chords. So I'm going to do a little intro here and kind of tell you a little bit about how to go about it and prepare you for the challenges ahead. So you should be starting these when you're comfortable with your open chords and when you feel that your hand and your fingers are starting to understand how to play, how to play the guitar. In other words, that you're able to apply pressure as you squeeze a shape with your finger at, at a certain angle and play on the fingertip, and you're learning how to navigate the neck and play one note while avoiding a surrounding string, a string's note. So yeah, here we go. So the basic idea is, and the reason they call these bar chords is because you're taking your first finger, usually your first finger, and you're going to be barring it over the entire width of the neck, and you're going to be pressing in and you're going to be fretting those notes, in addition to having some fingers up above that in some sort of a formation, be it like this, like this. There's all different types of bar chords, and I'm just going to give you the basics, the majors and the minors. But that's the idea, and what the most important thing about this is you guys getting the form right. So the form is basically this way. It's all about creating space, and so you want to hold your guitar to where it's comfortable this way, the way you'd normally be holding it, but don't be laying down on the couch or something. Don't be leaning back, things like that. Make sure that you're setting yourself up to where you're upright, and the neck of the guitar is definitely even more upright, so even sloped a little bit up in the air is good. So the idea is this: you have a clean path from your shoulder down to your wrist. As you do this and as you start to squeeze on the chords, you don't want to be feeling like there's a lot of tension in your arm, like you're kinking in this way, like it's weightlifting or something, or you're bending out this way. The idea is to have your first finger connect with the fret as straight in line with the fret as possible. So the closer you can get to that fret and get up against that fret, the less you're going to have to squeeze and the better it's going to sound. So, obvious bonuses right there. So here's the thing, is that you want to take your hand and come underneath, and you have to swing underneath and find a place to where your first finger, when it is fully extended, you can sort of lay flat on the strings before you even squeeze. That's the idea, is that your finger's just nice and straight, and it's straight in line with the fret. And in order to do that, your wrist has to learn its exact angle too, and so your wrist will be to some degree tipping back this way. You just don't want to have it tipped back too far. The thumb is somewhere in the middle of the back side of the neck on the pad of the thumb. So we're not doing it closed this way. That's super, super important. So you're going to be coming underneath like this, squeezing this way with the guitar in between. So that's the idea. So I'm not connecting anywhere here with the neck. The only thing touching the neck is my first finger and the back side of my thumb. And my wrist has to figure out how far to roll the thumb on the back side of the neck to create the proper angle to have my first finger flat on all of the strings. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to build up a C chord, and then I'll do actually close-ups of all the basic, the major and the minor bar chords, and the seventh chords. So the first finger is going to lay right against, and I'm floating, I'm not pressing it, but you're right on the 8th fret. And then you have to find a nice way to sort of rotate your wrist underneath, and my thumb feels like it's pretty much on the upper half of the neck. So on, if you were to cut this neck, I'm on kind of the upper half of it. But you don't want to feel like your thumb is doing this thing. That's really bad. Okay, you can see that, cool. So you don't want to have your thumb rotating out this way. You want to have it directly behind the first finger because it's applying the counter pressure. And the more efficient you can be, the better it's going to feel, and the less you'll have to squeeze. So that's the general idea, is that your thumb is somewhere comfortable on its pad, and what tends to be is somewhere in the middle of the neck. For me, in my hand size, it's a little bit above the top. And then you're testing sort of your form here, and everything should be in line here, so you don't want it to tip back this way, and you don't want it to come up over the fret. You should just be nice and straight in line with the fret itself. And all your other fingers should have the ability to some degree stretch forward as well and get to other frets. That's really important. If you end up grabbing it this way, you'll notice your hand is closed and you won't be able to really stretch your fingers because your hand's in a closed position. So you got to keep your hand in an open position.